Hey everybody, I feel like I've been a crummy friend over the last few months, not responding to all these nice things people are saying and wish I can't come back. And you know, I read every single comment on my channel via my phone. It pops in my phone. So I've been reading everything. I've been answering stuff in my heart, which how would you know? So I apologize for not responding. It seemed like an added burden in my life. And with all the kids and all things going on, I just couldn't bring myself to get in front of the camera. And of course now I can't bring myself away from the camera. There's a terror alert right now. So all Americans and people worldwide, in the Western world, should be frightened of Muslims, right? You know, it's funny. I think a lot of people think, look what these Muslims are doing. They're creating this terror for us. Well, I imagine being a Muslim during a terror alert is probably the worst of all. Because one, if you're a Muslim, you're very likely in a Muslim country where more likely the terror is going to happen. You get all the fear of the terror stuff that could happen, plus people are judging you. I mean, if I'm George Zimmerman, the guy who killed Trayvon Martin, and he's profiling young African Americans as potential crooks, how would a terror alert help him profile potential terror? Maybe watching Muslims? I mean, that's what you do. You want to profile? If we're on a terror alert, let's tell us all there's a terror alert so we can all be extra suspicious of Muslims. So it's actually, if I'm a non-Muslim and I'm hearing about a terror alert, it makes me hate Muslims more. But the reality is the terror alert does the greatest damage to Muslims. And I wonder if the governments or the media ever fabricate terror alerts for their own benefit, or just to drive a particular agenda home, to keep people scared, make them feel like the government's working for them. Because, you know, governments like to have the feeling that they are protecting you for something. Because that's how America takes away the freedoms of its citizens, in the name of protecting you from something like terror. So we cry terror, we'll protect you, and we'll take some more of your freedoms away. So during these terror alerts, it's so easy to put out a terror alert and cause people to hate Muslims. The way, like in my community here, there's hardly any black people. So all we learn about black people, we learn from television and the news. So if you don't ever see any black people, so you can hate and be scared of black people because you see the stories about the horrible things black people are doing in the news. Same with Muslims. We don't have enough Muslims around here. We hardly ever see a Muslim. And it seems to me, if you go to a mosque, that the Muslims I've met, they're charitable people. But they're charitable appears to me, their charity money and energy goes overseas. It goes to family, which is important. Just like the Latino people here. They make money and they send it back home to Mexico to help their family. It's totally understandable. But if you're living here, and you're sending all your charity overseas and out of town, how are we supposed to love you for being philanthropic? How are we supposed to know you? You go downtown, there's homeless people being served food in the Catholic kitchen and the Christian kitchen. And all these outreach programs are done by Christians, mostly Christians. And Jews. There's Jewish groups. Sometimes Jewish groups will get together with mosques, with masjids, and they'll do charity work. But in my town, if you want to learn about Muslims, you'll never learn about them by meeting Muslims. Unless you're an engineer and the guy you're working and building something with happens to be a Muslim, which is pretty likely. There's a lot of Muslim engineers around here and they got a lot of money. They drive nice cars. So why can't they put a little charity out? And I'm just saying here, and tell me it's already happening. Tell me I'm wrong, and tell me that there are communities where the mosques are open to all the public and they're giving them food and they're helping the homeless and they're clothing people and they're doing stuff right here in town. Because then instead of me sitting in the barber shop and making a comment about how Muslims are demonized and having everybody look at me, people would say, oh yeah, I know some Muslims. They run the soup kitchen down the way and they feed the homeless. Nice people. Never hear that around here. So if you want the terror alerts to stop creating terror in people's hearts over Muslims, and you're a Muslim, why don't you get out there and help feed the homeless. Why don't you get out there and make a difference in your local community? Tell me it's already happening. I'd love to hear and cite and exploit examples, share to the world where Muslims are doing outreach in their communities, and Christian groups and Jewish groups and non-religious, non-faith-based groups that are helping people in our local communities, where those people can rely on the local Muslim community to offer some level of comfort to the people that live right around them. So when you see a Muslim, you don't just see him as a cab driver or an engineer or somebody walking down the street in a veil. You see them as a participant in your local community, part of your history, making a quality difference in people's lives. Let me know what you think.